Race fans, it's about that time of year where the month of May rolls right around the corner and business picks up for all types of motorsports around the world. Got the Indianapolis 500 later on this month for IndyCar, and you got the Monaco Grand Prix going on for Formula One on Memorial Day weekend for the American viewers. And then you got NASCAR having two crown jewel races, Darlington and the Coca-Cola 600. And this weekend is Darlington. The throwback 400 is going to be very exciting. And today I'm here to give y'all my predictions for it. And I'm also here doing a Pick 5 contest. And if you're new to the channel and wondering, how do I get into this Pick 5 contest? All you got to do is comment down below your top 5 to be entered. If you go 5 for 5, you get an autographed hero card of your choice. And if you go 4 for 5, you get an unsigned hero card. Just went to the Atlanta race a couple weeks ago, so I stacked up on them. And just comment down below, and who knows, you may win a prize. But enough said, let's get started.
Hey, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. here at Kroger, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
This Sunday afternoon, the NASCAR Cup Series is going to head out to the Darlington Raceway and to race in the Goodyear 400. The Goodyear 400 is considered as NASCAR's throwback race. In the past, the throwback race has been on Labor Day weekend, but they decided to make two races of Darlington in the year, and they decided the first one should be focused on throwbacks because the second one is a playoff race, and they did not want to interfere with that. So it's now in the spring and it's a day race. We're going to see a lot of cool throwbacks, a lot of them. And Chase Briscoe by far has one of the best ones. And it's the old Tony Stewart. You can't get enough of it. It's so awesome. And NASCAR, the Cup Series is doing it. The Xfinity Series is doing it. And also the Truck Series are. And it's pretty cool seeing some of these paint schemes from the past, like on these trucks and cars. And it's pretty cool. But enough said about that. But going into Darlington, I would expect passing to be at a very minimal. So far this year, passing at these, shorter tracks has been very difficult, and I do not expect much different when we go to Darlington. I think the passing is going to be difficult, and clean air is going to be the determining factor on who wins the race. Because on restarts, the front two cars are in clean air, but everybody else behind them are in dirty air. So whoever gets the best jump out of the front row will more than likely run off with the win. And so we're just going to go off assumption here. I think Kyle Larson and Cliff Daniels are going to carry a fast Hendrick Motorsports 5 car into this weekend at Darlington, and they will bring home the checkered flag. Last year, they finished runner-up in both races. We saw the first one, Martin Truex Jr. getting the job done there. And in the playoffs, Martin Truex Jr.'s teammate, Denny Hamlin, won the race. And Kyle Larson tried to do the old video game move and just ran into the wall in 3 and 4, hoping he can get some momentum. He came close, but he fell in second place. But Kyle Larson this time around will get the win, and this will be his second win of the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series season. Depending on what happens at Dover, I'm filming this before the Dover race happens. It started on Sunday and carried on to Monday, but maybe he could have 3 wins if this were to happen, but I don't know. Let's assume he don't win Dover. Second place would be the 19 car of Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. this year has had many ups and downs. And right now, things are very interesting when it comes to Truex because he's on a contract year, and Joe Gibbs happens to have a grandson by the name of Ty Gibbs, who has numerous amounts of wins in all NASCAR series. Doesn't have one in trucks, but he has tons in ARCA and tons in Xfinity. So you would assume in the near future that Ty Gibbs will make the move to the Cup Series, but does he go to 2311 Racing, or does he go to Joe Gibbs Racing and races for his grandfather? And not many drivers are going to be on the move for 2311 Racing. Quite frankly, I don't think no one will. Kurt Busch is going to stay there for a couple of years to come, and Bubba Wallace is their long-term driver. Whether I agree with that or not does not matter, but that's their long-term driver. He wrecks a lot of the equipment. But Joe Gibbs' side of things, you got Kyle Busch, who's on a contract year, but it would be pretty dumb to get rid of Kyle Busch and give him to another team, because a lot of teams will pounce on that if Kyle Busch were to become a free agent. So I don't believe he will be the odd man out. Christopher Bell, however, is a very young driver. It is doing very well with the sponsorship, with the Walt and Stanley and all that stuff. Yahoo, they brought them in this year, and Ream. Christopher Bell is going to stay there because he's doing a good job as a marketing driver. When you look at Denny Hamlin, he owns 2311 Racing, but though he wants to keep it professional and wants to still go for the championship. And if you want to go for the championship, 2311 Racing is not going to be your move at this point in time. No disrespect to the team, but if Hamlin's wanting to win, he's going to stay where he's at. So Hamlin is out of the running. And then he got Martin Truex Jr. on a contract year from Mayetta, New Jersey. Has been in the Cup Series for many years. He started off racing a one car for Ganassi, won Dover in 08, I believe, or 09, one of them years. But he eventually found himself in Michael Waltrip Racing, in front of Giroux, and now JGR. I don't think his time in the Cup Series as a full-time driver will come to an end, but I believe his time in the 19 car will come to an end at the end of the season, but he will move elsewhere. Who knows? Maybe the 10 car, maybe the 41 car for Stewart-Haas Racing. Time will tell. But the second place run for Truex is going to be a big deal. He's came close many times at second place, I believe, where it will be. Third place will be the 8 car of Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick right now, he's got to be scratching his head. Started off the season very fast, and it carried on for a couple of weeks, and eventually, where's Tyler Reddick at? I haven't seen him in a while. And that happened for a couple of weeks, and eventually we saw him in Atlanta leading laps at Coda the following week on a late race restart, taking the lead with 2 to go, but Chastain easily got past him, and Allmendinger did too. Then Bristol rode around. He was just 1 corner away from winning his first career race in the NASCAR Cup Series, but Chase Briscoe had other plans, and he was going for the win. You really can't hate on the guy going for the win. He's a racer. That's his job, to win races, not to finish second. So I can see where Briscoe came from and just went for it all. But took out the 8 car Tyler Reddick. Talladega was Talladega. Reddick didn't do too spectacular there. But at Dover, things aren't looking good so far. Maybe he can turn things around on Monday. Like I said, I'm filming this on a Sunday before the Monday race resumes. But Tyler Reddick will finish P3. P4 will have to be the 18 car of Kyle Busch. In the past at Darlington, he has been very quick. And he has a win under his belt this season, so I would expect strategy for him to be very interesting. He might think of track position rather than 4 fresh tires, maybe 2. I don't know. It's worth the gamble, right? 5th place will be the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. Rodney Childers. Childers has had a phenomenal year on top of the pit box. Last year, the team was terrible. Stewart-Haas Racing was in general. But this year, Stewart-Haas Racing has a win under their belt with Chase Briscoe out in Phoenix. Eric Almirola is starting to come around and starting to become more competitive. Cole Custer is too at the same time. But man, someone's going to have to get rid of Custer before too long. I don't think he's a long-term driver. And Harvick is coming close to winning races. Nearly won Richmond. Maybe if a little bit of help, he would have won against Denny Hamlin. But there you go. There's your top 5 for Darlington: Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch, and Kevin Happy Harvick. And my dark horse will have to be the 6 car of Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski made a tough decision this past all season, and it was moving from Team Penske to Roush Fenway. But in order to do that, he wanted some bigger opportunities there. And that big opportunity was taking a stake in ownership. And they rebranded the team to RFK Racing, Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. And he took over the 6 car, which was used to be driven by Ryan Newman, the Rocket Man. But he's going to find himself on his own 2 feet this summer in the SRX Series. But enough said about that. But he brought in Chris Buescher for another year. If Chris Buescher doesn't do good, maybe Truex Jr.? I don't know. I've seen crazier things happen in the past, but there's a lot of speculation in this video for my Darlington predictions, but it's never too early to look at next season's lineup because That's quite frankly very big. But Kyle Larson will win Darlington. Not should be a big surprise to any of y'all. But the biggest thing is this weekend at Darlington, how will the ratings be? Darlington will start around 3 o'clock Eastern Time, and so will the Formula One Miami Grand Prix. If NASCAR can outdo Miami for United States viewership, I would find that a very big success, and NASCAR will have to feel good about themselves because I think right now they are capable of defeating the Formula One race at Miami in viewership. It's going to take a little bit of help, but I think they can do it. Definitely not worldwide, but definitely in the United States. Please like and subscribe and comment down below your opinions to be entered in this Sunday's Pick 5 contest because I'm very curious to see if any of y'all win and I can give y'all some of my hero cards for crying out loud. I don't want to hold on to them. They're y'all, so comment down below.